Hey guys, Tony here, Rollinwiththebolens. So today we're going to discuss a few things you should never do as an RVer. So stay tuned.
Hello everybody, that's me, Tony, and my wife Jill, and together we are Rolling with the Bolens. So in 2017 we decided to give up the normal stick and brick life for a life of adventure on the road. So now we are nomadic and living full-time in our RVs, so come along with us as we travel the world and get ourselves into all kinds of adventures.
Okay, so now everyone's rushed out and bought RVs due to the pandemic. There's a lot of people who are, RVing etiquette challenged. That's exactly what most of these people are. I think that's the polite and better way to put that. One of the things that irritate me is people who leave trash everywhere and fill their fire pit full of trash. That's a no-no. Do not do that.
So another thing you should be cautious of when you are out camping is your noise level. Being noisy and loud, and even your children running around screaming early in the morning might make your neighbors not happy with you. So try to keep it down, keep it between the certain hours of the day that are allowed for the loud noise, and then maybe, keep an eye on your kids.
One of the other things that you should probably not do is if you're at a campground, there's nobody else reserved a site, and there's many open sites. Do not find the one and only person in the campground and go park right next to them and encroach on their free roam space in front of them. It's not a rule, but it's just a consideration. But when you're out on BLM land and you've got miles and miles and hundreds of miles, don't pull up to the 50 feet from your neighbor and stop and camp there and set up and be loud and all those things.
Okay, another one is, and hopefully this doesn't happen very often, but we've had it a few times, where people have gotten into arguments or fights and have actually yelled over between the two campsites through our campsite. And it not only is just bad etiquette, it embarrasses everybody that you're camping with and kind of embarrasses the people that are around you. So just be a little bit more considerate, and if you get mad, go into your tent, into your RV, cool down, come back out.
And another thing is we love our pet too. And a lot of people have pets when they go RVing. Pick up after your animal. Don't leave poop laying all over the place and all that stuff right there. Pick that up. Nobody wants to step in that. But the biggest thing is if you know you have a dog that barks continuously, please do not tie that up next to the RV next to you, because they may not be as pet friendly as some, and that can really cause a problem to where somebody could even possibly harm your animal, which that's never a good thing. And I don't condone that. If you don't like the pet animal people, do not do that, because that's just you're an ass if you do that. But the second part is, people come to relax when they're RVing, not listen to somebody else's dog yippity yap, yappity yap, and barkity bark. And not to mention, you put your dog on a long enough chain, the dog may run into the other campsite. It may not like somebody over there for some reason, even if it's the friendliest dog in the world. They get spooked. They could obviously bite the person next to your RV site where you're at. It's just going to be a bad day all around, so don't do that either.
Okay, and here's another one. So if you're having guests over, party, whatever your campsite, and you know there's going to be quite a few people, don't have them park in your neighbor's campsites. Don't let them park up and down the row to where cars can't come and go, or bring in RVs. You might damage their RV, they might damage their vehicles. You just want to be considerate of others that are around you. Again, that might be the theme here. So if you're having guests, have them park in a campground parking lot, or maybe you talk to the owner of the campground or the manager and ask where your guests can park, because parking in other people's campsites and they come home and they can't get to their campsites, that's not very nice and very neighborly. So keep that in mind.
And yet another thing, you would think most people would have learned this a long time ago in life, but this is mostly for the male campers. Do not, under any circumstance, walk into your neighbor's campsite and relieve yourself. You may want to tell the little boys that too. It's not a good thing for somebody to go to somebody else's campsite and start relieving himself on somebody else's stuff. Yeah, not a good thing. Now, the other part of that is you probably shouldn't do that outside your RV anyway, when you should have a bathroom in your RV. And if you don't have a bathroom in your RV, there is plenty of restrooms located at campgrounds. Now, if you're out in BLM land, there's a bush and you got to go and you ain't got a restroom, that's a little bit more acceptable, but not in a campground where everybody's children are walking around, mothers, grandmothers. Bad idea. Don't do that crap.
Okay, and now this one is not really a etiquette type thing. It is more of a health issue to keep yourself healthy and not make yourself sick or your kids, which is, you know, very important when you're on the road or camping and you want to have fun. Stay away from the non-potable water. It's not for bathing, it's not for drinking, it's not for doing dishes, and it's most definitely not for your kids to play in or around. So to keep you and your children healthy, just, you know, look for healthy, clean water.
Patience is something you need to have when you are coming into an RV park or campground. There's not just you there, there's tons of people who are also trying to get their rigs backed in, get set up. I've seen people go around people when they're trying to back in, when the driver necessarily can't see you as you come flying around them because you're in their blind spot. That is a big no-no, and that's just kind of a really shitty thing to do to somebody. So don't do that. The other thing is, when people are backing in, these things, a lot of people may not be that, you know, comfortable backing these things in. They're taking it nice and slow, doing it safely. Don't pressure them by sitting there honking the horn, getting out of your vehicle and pacing back and forth and asking if this is going to take a while. Because let me tell you what, if it's a hard spot to get into and you do that to me, I'm going to park my truck and you're going to sit there all night. You might as well just set up camp. Okay, so number one thing that really irritates us: walking through our campsite uninvited. Using our campsite as a cut through, a pass through, a sidewalk. Don't do that. That is the biggest unspoken rule in the RV community. Stay out of other people's campsites. That's really all it is. Guys, we hope this little top 10 list of things you should not do at an RV park, campground, wherever you're RVing helps. And hopefully you're not some of the ones doing those things. Well, at least now maybe you have a little bit of information that maybe you won't do these things anymore. So guys, we hope this helped, and we'll see you guys down the road. Bye.
Bye.